Namaste children. Today I'm going to start a new lesson in social studies, that too in history part. The name of the lesson, the first chapter is Nationalism in India. As nationalism means, it's a spirit of freedom. As we know that British were there in India for more than 200-300 years. Here we'll talk about our Indians, own country. Here nationalism, the Indians started fighting against British to get their freedom, own land freedom. So the first independence war of India was started in the year 1857 by Mangal Pandya, and soon after that, even Indians were fighting against British, but they were not successful. We consider only few years where Indians started getting their success, for their fighting. As we started with the first point, First World War in the year 1914. Why do we take this First World War 1914 in the part of nationalism in India? Why? Because Indians were also the part of this First World War. As British were there in India, they forced Indians to be the part of First World War. And soon after forcing them, soon after involving Indians into the part of First World War, there were some impacts. What were the impacts? There must be some impacts, As we consider the First World War, there were some impacts like a huge increase in the defensive expenditure. The expenditure I talked about. The expenditure means here the soldiers, those who were there in the part of World War, to lead them, to meet the expenditure of these soldiers, Indians were forced to give the money. There was an increased expenditure. They have increased the expenditure on Indians actually. And the second point, so they have introduced a new income tax. British have introduced a new income tax. So this income tax was on Indians. It was on Indians. See, as the First World War was started in the year 1914, so the soldiers, those who were fighting there in the war field, and these had to be paid by British, but British were unable to give the expenditure of soldiers. What they have done? They started collecting money from the Indians. They have increased the income tax, and moreover they have increased a few other schemes like revenue system or even the tax policy. Everything they have increased, and it was a burden for Indians. And the third point, and here we can take forced labor. Forced labor means here actually British wanted to meet the number of soldiers in the world. I'll just tell you an example. Approximately they wanted 10,000 soldiers in the World War. So, but they were unable to reach. There were nearly 8,000 soldiers. But to fulfill 10,000, they wanted 2,000 Indian soldiers. What they have done? They have introduced another policy, forced labor. Forced labor means the Indians must be there in the part of World War, and they were not paid salary. This is what the major points of First World War, the impacts of First World War. So here I'll talk about the next year of First World War, 1950. So what is the important of this year, 1950? 1915 is the most important year in the history of Indians. Okay, so Gandhi return. We consider this year as Gandhiji returned. So in the year 1915, Mahatma Gandhiji he has returned from South Africa. Why he was there in South Africa? He was there in South Africa for the practice of law. So he was there more than 20 years. He was there. Soon after that, he came back to India. So after the return of Gandhiji, we can find out the face of this spirit of nationalism got little changed. Why? Because Gandhiji introduced a new policy or new scheme that was known as Satyagraha. What do you mean by Satyagraha? What do you mean by Satyagraha? Satyagraha is a process where people have to find and they have to fight for the truth, to know the truth, to find the truth. And here the people have to fight with their words, not with the arms or even any physical strength. They have to fight with their words. We consider this Satyagraha as non-violence, completely non-violence. People have to fight with their words, not with the physical strength. And soon after introducing Satyagraha in India, what Gandhiji has done? He started organizing Satyagraha in various places. In the year 1916, the first Satyagraha was in India, 1916. That was in Champaran. Champaran, it is in Bihar state. He has organized Satyagraha, the first Satyagraha in India, 1916. So there must be a reason to organize any Satyagraha or any movement. What was the reason behind this Satyagraha? Gandhiji started this Satyagraha in the year 1916 to help the peasant against plantation system. So for example, here I'll talk about the major point of this. British were forcing peasants to go for the plantation. It means they have to grow whatever British were forcing them to grow. Along with that, if I want to go out as a peasant, if I want to go outside the estate or outside the plantation area, I had to get the permission from British for any purposes. But here, Gandhiji supported peasants. They had equal freedom. Whenever they want to go somewhere, it doesn't mean that they had to get the permission from British. So the first Satyagraha movement was organized in the year 1916 in Champaran to support peasants. To support the peasants. And very next year in 1970, the second Satyagraha movement was organized by Gandhi in Kedar district. Kedar district. So this Kedar district is in Gujarat. Why this second Satyagraha movement was organized? As the previous one had a strong reason, in the same way, this second Satyagraha movement had a strong reason. Like here Gandhiji wanted to support the peasants and the farmers. It is in Gujarat. Actually, Kedar district is in Gujarat. Here Gandhiji started this Satyagraha to support the peasants and farmers, to reduce the revenue rate, to reduce the revenue and tax. Just for these two reasons, and to people, peasants and farmers, Gandhiji started this second Satyagraha movement in Kedar district, Gujarat state. And soon after this second Satyagraha movement, he again started one more Satyagraha in the year 1980. That too was in same Gujarat. So we consider Ahmedabad. And this third Satyagraha movement was also started by Gandhiji in the year 1918 in Ahmedabad. But as the first Satyagraha movement was to support peasants, second was to support peasants and farmers, and the third one to support cotton mill workers. So why Gandhiji supported this cotton mill workers? As previously even the workers were working in cotton mill, but as I discussed previously, 1914, the First World War, British wanted to meet the expenditure of the soldiers of the First World War. They have increased the time of workmanship. Here, the cotton mill workers had to work more. Means 2 more hours extra they had to work in the cotton mill, and they have been reduced the salary. So this is what the reason Gandhiji started his Satyagraha movement in the year 1918 to support cotton mill workers. See here, all these Satyagraha movements were really successful. All these Satyagraha movements were really successful, and Gandhi thought Satyagraha will definitely make us to get freedom. So he thought of introducing a new big movement. But the reason why he wanted another Satyagraha movement, there was a reason. These 3 Satyagrahas, in the year 1916 Satyagraha movement in Champaran, and the second Satyagraha movement in Kedar district, and the third Satyagraha movement in Ahmedabad. These 3 Satyagraha movements were successful, and these 3 made Gandhiji to launch a new Satyagraha movement. He thought of another big movement, non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement. What do you mean by this non-cooperation? As the word will be every day will be using cooperation. Cooperation means we just have to support the opponent or the person who comes to us. If I want to get the help, I'll come to you. If you help me, that is cooperation. If you don't help me, that is non-cooperation. In the same way, this movement was launched by Gandhi, but before this, Gandhi had another thought that he wanted to integrate people. Why? There were some communities, there were some groups, and each group was fighting against another group. He thought of, let me introduce a big movement integrating other people. So he took the help of Khalifa. So he is the head of a community or Islamic community, what we talk about. So he consulted a Khalifa, and what he thought, let me get people from your community to be the part of this non-cooperation movement. So here non-cooperation movement means people should not support British. What they had to do, they should not support British in the sense they should not respond to them. They should not cooperate with British. What happened when this non-cooperation movement was launched? People left the job. What type of job they have left actually? The people, those who were working in British government, they have left the job. Not only the people have supported this movement, along with that, even children left the school. Children left the schools. It means the children, those who were studying in British schools, they have left the schools because they didn't want to support British. This is what non-cooperation movement is. And lawyers stopped their practice. So the lawyers, where they were working in the courts, these courts were coming under British government only. They even have stopped, practice, their practice in the court, and many people have stopped using British products, the British products. British products were boycotted. Boycotted means, they stopped using all the British products. See, these were the things that, which majorly have taken place in the non-cooperation movement. Definitely, if these things would happen, the British would come to know that what is the problem. And they may even support Indians, they may even help Indians to get their freedom. This is what the thought of Indians. But soon after these, incidents, means people left the job, children left the schools, lawyers stopped their practice, British products were boycotted by Indians. So along with this, by seeing all these things, Swadeshi movement was launched in the same year. So till now we just have discussed non-cooperation movement. Means non-cooperation, how, what were the things happen in non-cooperation movement. Soon after launching non-cooperation movement, what was the major problem and how this movement had to be taken over by Indians. This part will be continued in the next class. Thank you. Stop.